Just answering questions with web tech. I did 2 videos over the last few days. One right after the other. One's a long version where I'm basically doing a rant, and the other one is where I just tell you if you're on the YouTube main page and it's blank, open a new tab as a private window to the page, and you should be able to see its suggestions. And I also mentioned offhand, also you could just not log in until you absolutely need to, and you'll be fine. You can also make a bookmark that looks up stuff you're interested in and or sorts by time and date stamp, and it's almost the same thing. But I mentioned in it that it was still showing me stuff that I'm interested in because it's able to figure out my IP address, MAC address, among other things. I didn't go into detail about it because I assumed that this is common knowledge. So I'm going to give you a couple of things to look up. Zombie cookie, Wikipedia page link, and then the Register 2014, the new sinister web tracking tech fingerprints your computer by making it draw. And also look up, how does YouTube identify anonymous or logged out visitors and users? Here we go. The internet provider I'm going through unavoidably communicates at least most of the IP address I'm at. It's needed, the IP address, even if it's obfuscated, there is enough information to figure out probably where I am, at least down to the city. And if Google pays them, down to the individual computer. The MAC address, which is an identifier code for the network card I'm using in here, is leaked occasionally. It depends. I mean, if somebody sends a maintenance data packet or QoS or whatever packet, one of those things, I'm sounding stupid on purpose. I mean that. Go ahead and comment about how wrong I am. It'll spit out the MAC address, which can be used to uniquely identify me. Now, I can fake the MAC address and I can fake the IP address, and I'll be truly anonymous, but I don't care. I don't. Now, remember, this is a computer where I've ripped so much of the operating system out that I've imported crap from Windows XP and also Windows 10 and Windows 8. We don't talk about 8, and also Vista. And, okay, I mentioned some Vista programs, but I even have videos about showing you how I did this. The operating system is a confusing mess to anything, but the web browser I'm using, while it's still an altered version of it, it will obey orders from a website that give away the ratio on the screen, my screen resolution, other details, and that can be used to fingerprint my computer, and Google will do that. It doesn't matter that they have to follow some laws that says they're supposed to be treating you as unique. As long as they have plausible deniability, they will identify you. So if I'm not logged in, it tends to show me on the main page shit I'm interested in more often than if I turn on the watch history or any other thing it says I have to do for them to be happy with me. Because I'm refusing to do it, I'm not opting in to being tracked. This is European Union rules that they're basically punishing people for actually following advice like don't log in unless you have to. Clear all cookies. Make sure you're able to reset a bunch of things. On mine, I can fake my MAC address and I can get the IP address to reset once in a while, which will be a pain in the ass when I want to log in because Google treats that as something they must smite, and then they make me go through hoops to log in. It's really annoying. So anyway, someone said, this has nothing to do with IP address. This is account-based. If you log out, you see start page. It doesn't matter if you do it in a private window, laughing my ass off. And you do not get the suggested videos anyway. But I did. When I look up certain subjects where I happen to have a video on it, it shows it on the first page. That's not real. It's not going to do that for a person, for anybody. Because my video got 5 views. It's not going to show that unless it knows it's me. Or at least it suspects it is. Again, it has plausible deniability because I'm not logged in. But it knows it because it can track a bunch of crap that my computer's leaking. My computer leaks data because I want it to. I can actually just make it to where it doesn't leak anything. And it'll show me what a person would see if they are the first time they ever went to YouTube, I guess. But I don't want that. But I don't want them to have a view history voluntarily given so that they can use it to avoid showing me what I'm looking for. I'm better off with it turned off. The recommendations without watch history were still tailored to your taste. Yes, that's because they saw my IP address, etc. Not as strictly as with the watch history. Yeah, I know that. But again, they are actually showing me what I'm interested in, and more importantly, they're showing more accurately what I'm interested in. Again, when I let watch history be turned on, it won't let me find anything new. When I turn it off, I can. They get mad and turn off the main page. I just don't log in, or I use a private window, and I still get what I'm looking for, and I can still, when I search, not get a bunch of extra bullshit. I'm also doing the set of individual filter lines in uBlock Origin is 200 of them, just to get YouTube to stop shoving things in my face. Like, I don't care that there's a soccer match going. I've literally never looked up soccer matches. They're being paid to push that. So it's the push function's turned off. They were legally bound not to track your watch history by having it disabled. Yeah, but they do it anyway, obviously, so okay. But yeah, it does have to do with the IP address and the MAC address, because if you're not aware of it, you can find out their hash code that they put in the command line, otherwise known as the address bar, and you can even look at the packet data and find out that, yeah, it includes a poorly hashed version of the MAC address from the card's ID code and my IP address. I did a video about a year ago about that. It's a large corporation. They're tracking everybody. Just, okay. But yeah, they do base it. They don't just base it on IP address. I just didn't feel like going into a 6-minute diatribe about it. Next, people noted that I'm running Windows 98 and I should upgrade. I'm running Windows 7 with a bunch of code that I imported from, here we go, Windows 95, 98, Millennium, Windows 311, DOS 6.2, Windows XP, Windows Vista, yuck, but it did have a couple of programs that were better than what's on here. Windows 8, duh, is partially imported in here. And Windows 10 now, because, yeah, I found some Windows 10 code I had to import in to make a driver work. So this thing has multiple personality syndrome, which would make it identify itself very uniquely. Also, I'm using a browser that I've altered heavily, so it says it's a Macintosh. So, oddly enough, by trying to fake what I am, I end up making myself a very, very clear target. But no, I'm not running Windows 98. I actually had it set originally, some people saw this, I had it set up to use the desktop that was exclusively a Windows 95A version. It looked like beta Windows 95. The actual copy, I think it was called Nashville or Memphis. I forgot which one it was. I have to look that up again. I'll do a video on that sometime. I can also load up the Microsoft Bob interface and make everything work too. I do that sometimes just to make the people who know what they're looking at recoil in horror because they think they're in a parallel universe where Microsoft Bob didn't become an actual joke. And yes, I even found the code to expand it to where you can walk into the backyard. If you know what I'm talking about, you're probably going, oh shit. And if you don't know, you're like, huh? Just go look up Microsoft Bob and laugh very hard at it. Hey, they had to figure out how to do a user interface by some paradigm, you know, I guess. So anyway, I'm not running Windows 98, although I make it look a lot more like that than I would actually like to admit. I'm trying to make it look like 95. I'd like to make it look like Windows 311, actually. That'd be even more fun. My God, it would be unusable. And I'm running an operating system that's a mix of code from pretty much every op system they put out by now. I mean, I install more hacks from the other operating systems than I do actual software. I have 2 browsers right now. One is Google Chrome because Google just won't work unless you load Chrome sometimes. Again, they're going down the same pathway Microsoft went. And Firefox. The rest of it's all image editing and video editing software, which I use to make my videos, and a slideshow routine. Oh, by the way, the slideshow routine, I imported that from, I think it was Windows Millennium. I forget, I'll have to look it up. But I've imported literally every piece of code from every operating system Microsoft put out, and there's a small amount of Mac software on here, specifically to work with a particular piece of software I had. I don't run it anymore. Linux, and did I stick some Ubuntu code in here? I don't remember. And I had a VM. I don't even know if I have a virtual machine in. Fuck, I might be running a virtual machine right now. No, it had been some. I've really fucked with this thing way too much. But anyway, but thanks for confusing it with Windows 98. That's actually a compliment. I worked hard on it. Also, I had a tiny bit of contribution to the 9.8 Lite project that ended up fucking up Microsoft Corporation's ability to lie about integrating Internet Explorer. And I've had a little bit to do with things like Crap Cleaner, teeny amount of it. It was I called my routine janitor, and some of my ideas might have filtered in there. I've been doing this for a while. So Spud Benser 7179, how you doing? Yes, I'm sorry. It really is that Microsoft Corporation and every other corporation on the planet really does identify you by whatever they can get their hands on. And in my case, it definitively got the IP address and MAC address and everything else. It did. Also, if I change it, and I have done this, it really gets pissy when I log in because it says, "Who the fuck are you?" Because you have to confirm with a phone number or something. I mean, it gets really pissy. And the other thing, and another thing, it gives me the generic, really, I mean, Justin Bieber. Why does it? It always shows me Justin Bieber when I log in as a truly anonymous login. And again, why? And again, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if anybody's curious, the video where I just got to the point and told people how to fix the problem, even though people are sometimes disagreeing with me, or it just didn't work because it isn't always going to work, got 10 times, almost exactly 10 times as many views as the longer video where I'm just ranting and screaming at the camera because I'm angry with Microsoft. Excuse me, I keep saying that. Google. Because Google and YouTube are assholes. And they're doing exactly what Microsoft did that made us write alternative versions of their operating systems by chunking shit together and stirring liberally and hoping the damn thing didn't blow up in our face. It's not like there's an entire group of projects to eliminate their ability to alter things. It's not like I'm running half the code on my computer in beta that I signed up for. So what's the time and date stamp here? We're at almost 12 minutes. We're in August 17th, so September and October, look for a Halloween document style thing about YouTube and Google. I'm probably, it probably won't come to fruition, but if it does, it'll be October. We're going to make it a Halloween document kind of thing. And what it'll be is an API that lets you bypass literally the ability of YouTube and Google to make money. There, I said it. Because once they're strangulated at the waddle balls, they'll be given a notification. Either knock this off or go broke. Because everybody can load this thing and it'll just make it to where they can't make money. Because it'll keep giving them false responses. So all the ads go to dev null. We won't see the ads, but they'll run through our systems. And they'll respond negatively to everybody who paid them the most money. It's a project. We'll see if it happens. I don't think it will. And no, it's not a Reddit or a Discord. I'm old school. Think BBSs. Yes, they still exist. Then they always will. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. I'm not running 98. And yes, they can track you by IP address and everything else because they'll track you by whatever they can get.